Hello and welcome to Levant TV headlines. Kurdish militia continue to hold off Islamic State group jihadists in the battleground Syrian border town of Kobani as the US urged Turkey to join the fight against the advancing fighters. At least 31 people have been killed and 360 others injured in 4 days of protests in Turkey led by pro-Kurdish demonstrators against the government's policy on Syria. Envoys from dozens of countries will gather in Cairo on Sunday for a conference that aims to raise billions of dollars to rebuild conflict-battered Gaza, despite fears of renewed violence and donor fatigue. The UN refugee agency, UNHCR, says about 100,000 people have fled fighting near the Libyan capital Tripoli in the past 3 weeks, adding a growing problem of internal displacement. And human rights activists from Pakistan and India, Malala Yousafzai and Kailash Satyarthi, have been named as the joint winners of the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting in Lebanon, the Daily Star leads reporting that masked gunmen on motorcycles opened fire on Lebanese army posts in the northern city of Tripoli overnight, prompting soldiers to return fire. The paper also reports that the Nusra Front has claimed that a Lebanese soldier defected from the army and joined the ranks of the jihadists. The Egypt Independent leads are reporting that a child was killed and 5 people were injured after a 2-story house built with bricks collapsed in Cana Governorate. The paper also reports that a new restaurant will be launched in Egypt soon and where people can enjoy a hot meal at an altitude of 200 feet on a chair of 6-point seat belts. From the UAE, the Khaleej Times reports that suicide bombers targeting Yemen's Houthi group and an army camp killed at least 67 people in 2 separate attacks yesterday, hours after a political crisis forced the new prime minister to step down. The paper also reports that UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan has condemned Israel's barbaric intrusion into an Al-Aqsa mosque to make way for Jewish visitors on the occasion of the Jewish Feast of Tabernacles. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Guardian leads its Middle East news reporting that the House of Commons is likely to recognise Palestine as a state for the first time on Monday as MPs debate a motion on its right to independence. The paper says Labour MPs will be whipped to vote in favour of the motion, calling on the government to recognise Palestine as a state, while many Liberal Democrats and some Conservatives are also likely to back it. The Independent also leads its Middle East news reporting on the Palestine-Israel conflict, saying that Palestinian leaders welcome the Labour Party's decision to back a parliamentary motion recognising Palestinian statehood, deeming it a step towards righting a historic injustice. The paper adds that in Palestinian legislator Abdullah's view, Britain bears responsibility for the Nakba, the disaster of Palestinian displacement that accompanied Israel's creation. And the Telegraph reports that Kurdish militia fighters battling to hold Kobani have said they will lose the key Syrian border town within a week unless they are given heavy weapons and extra fighters. The paper says the plea came as Turkey said that it would not take responsibility for saving the town by unilaterally sending in ground troops. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle leads reporting that Washington has announced a plan for military teams from Turkey and the US to discuss strategy in the fight against Islamic State. The paper says a joint US-Turkish military team is set to meet next week in Ankara after Washington pressed Turkey to join a US-led coalition against the Islamic State. And finally, China's Global Times leads reporting that the Syrian troops have thwarted an infiltration attempt by the Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front in the Al-Kalamun region north of the capital of Damascus, killing 57. That was all for today. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again on Monday. Bye for now.